Iceland's landscapes are striking. I can't help but be enchanted by the strange raw beauty of this geologically young island. Wow, this is spectacular. Here goes. Woo! Yes. Exploring Iceland. I'm Art Wolf. This is Travels to the Edge. In the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, just south of the Arctic Circle, is the island nation of Iceland. Sitting on the active mid-Atlantic ridge, it's a land shaped by force, fire, and water. This is T02 waterfall. It's the largest waterfall in all of Iceland. In fact, it's the largest waterfall by volume of Europe. It's an amazing force of nature. It's so powerful I can feel the earth reverberate under my feet. That's what's extraordinary about Iceland, the forces of nature that have shaped this planet. From the great glaciers to the geyser activity to the waterfalls that leach out of the mainland is all raw and right in front of you. Helping me to understand the forces that forged this island is Ari Gudmundsson, a geophysicist, poet, and expert on the Icelandic environment. These waterfalls behind us are amazing.
Sometimes Iceland is called the waterfall country. We have a lot of precipitation, we have all the melting glaciers. Those rivers flowing from them, they are carving canyons, they are making ravines. So it's a natural process, of course. 50% of the country is above 400 meters, so you have a lot of very fast-flowing rivers. 80% of our energy, electrical energy, comes from hydropower. So all we need is either geothermal power or hydropower. We have no oil, no coal, nothing. So we are creating only clean energy, in a way. And this is what counts. This is the white gold of Iceland.
The waterfalls. Iceland is defined in part by water, by the sea that surrounds it, and the snow-capped peaks that rise above it. Next, I'm hoping to find water in a more abstract form, ice. This huge freshwater lake has enormous icebergs floating around in it, and it's only a quarter of a mile away from the open ocean. And on the other end, huge glaciers are calving these beautiful icebergs. So it's a very dynamic landscape. And I'm compressing the angles of the icebergs backlit by the sun. So it gives me a really beautiful abstract palette to work with. Beautiful.
This is one of the best places to see nature in its full force in Iceland. The advance of this glacier, it has only been active for, let's say, 1,000 or 2,000 years. It has carved this very, very deep fjord or lake underneath here, up to 300 meters in depth.
Oh, look at this iceberg coming up. I love this one. It's like two beings standing there on this ice platform. I love that.
The one to the right is a polar bear and the one to the left is a walrus. You know, they are sort of fighting each other.
That is so dynamic.
The ice is usually clear. When you see them, for example, roll over, you see it's clear ice. But as soon as the sun has effect on them, it's melting, it becomes opaque and white.
Oh, is that it?
So yeah. You can see underneath here, it's clear ice.
It looks like the light is emanating from within, right?
Yeah,
it just has that
it's like
inner glow.
It's glowing.
Look at that delicate arch right there. Ah, this is really beautiful. I've got the sun coming right behind an edge on this ice. And there's so much depth, just the way the arches of the iceberg is, the way the water's falling, and then there's multiple layers. This is a very complex iceberg. This ice looks like cut glass. It's 1,000 years old, and it's just so smooth and abstract. And the closer I get, the more abstract it looks. Every increment of my movement, and I'm getting something radically different. And this is really beautiful because now I've got the green of the ice and the blue of the sky reflecting through the ice. Very slick, very surreal.
Over time, this ice will find its way back to the sea, renewing an ancient cycle.
This is the journey's end for these icebergs. They've calved off a glacier about 2 miles inland. They've floated down across the lake, down a river, and here they sit, stranded on the shore. What's amazing to me is to think how old this ice is, up to 1,000 years. And here they will slowly melt against the oncoming tide. It's beautiful and it's surreal, and the lighting, which is very subdued, is what really gets me excited because I think of it as a very soft watercolor painting. I'm trying to shoot in this little iceberg. Meanwhile, the tide is coming in. I've gotten really close to this stranded iceberg that's got a gap in the center of it, and I'm trying to shoot through that gap at the icebergs beyond. Now, whether I'm successful or not, we'll see.
Titanic forces of water and rock are locked in the struggle for dominance over the shape of Iceland's landscape.
All right, this is pretty spectacular rock.
Well, this is what we call basalt columns or columnar basalt, and this is the rock, the black sort of basalt. 90% of Iceland is made out of this. This is maybe the soul of Iceland.
The soul of Iceland.
Some part of it at least. We have about 6,000 kilometers of coastline.
6,000 kilometers.
Yeah. And it's so varied. It's ranging from those basalt, black pebble beaches, sand beaches, to cliffs that are 500-600 meters high. Everything in between.
And in terms of a geologic timetable, I mean, you've got eruptions going off fairly commonly.
Yeah, it's about every 4th year or so.
From my perspective, all these raw elements, the fire, the geysers, the waterfalls, the ice, this is all great stuff.
Well, I think if this doesn't stir your imagination, you are a dead man, more or less. That's so simple.
I'm sailing to Papi Island, located off Iceland's southeast coast, in search of the Atlantic puffin, Iceland's avian clown.
This is at best a difficult environment to work with because just a few feet beyond me, it's a sheer basalt face. And this is the perfect habitat for the Atlantic puffin because they can come right out of the bay, land on this very steep cliff, be very safe from predators, burrow into the very spongy soil, and they're good to go. That's where they nest. These birds from a distance look basically black and white, but when you get in close, the ornate structure of the beak is so beautiful. It's very, very analogous to a parrot or a toucan with these just very, very sharp features. Such an engaging bird. What's amazing about these puffins is that they burrow in the grass. They do that because gulls and other birds of prey will actually go after the chicks, so they're safe when they're in the grass. They're very adept at catching multiple fish under the water and just aligning them along this beautiful and ornate beak. As I take this picture, I've got multiple eyes looking back at me, not only the puffins, but also all the squid eyes are really clearly distinguished in their bodies. This is a really charming shot. I think I'm gonna try to get in lower and a little closer. Boy, talk about traveling to the edge. It is 500 feet straight down. I hate heights, but this is beautiful. Got 4 puffins sitting on a little knoll. And what's great about this is the light is illuminating through their beaks, and their red and orange beaks are just glowing. It's really quite nice. It's hard to photograph these guys without smiling. They have such comical faces, and the way they strut around out here in this grass atop this cliff is amazing. They just seem so at ease in this very vertical environment. Beautiful little birds. What's so great about traveling through Iceland is there's a lot of surprises along the way, like this vast field of fireweed. Just a swash of pink in a sea of lava. It's fantastic. We're in the thermal zone now. Here, just beneath the Earth's surface, water and heat collide, conjuring a primeval playground. This is Stroker Geyser, one of the more interesting features of Iceland. What makes this geyser so interesting is the fact that it not only shoots 100 feet into the air, but there's a beautiful blue bubble that precedes the eruption. Pulse. It's almost like the Earth has a pulse. Okay, here it goes. Whew. Here, it looks like it's gonna happen. Here it goes. Whew. Yes. Traveling through Iceland, you come across the most unexpected things. Here we have a mountain stream that is literally steaming from the superheated water that originates in a geyser basin up the slope. So, of course, I'm going to take advantage of it because I've never photographed a mountain stream that literally is putting off steam like this. It's beautiful and it's unexpected. This is a very surreal place to be. A valley full of geysers and fumaroles and mud pots and color. The light is getting low and moody. It's a very surreal environment, and it's perfect for shooting what I'm after, which is the abstract, haunting quality that is Iceland. As the light level drops, the saturation of color becomes much more pronounced. And the color is really one of the elements I'm loving to work with here, because you've got beautiful yellow oxides and siennas and umbers, the earth tones. The other thing that I love is the thick layer of clouds. It's almost meeting the geyser steam. So there's a beautiful blending of the sky and the steam, and it all becomes a beautiful palette to work with. As I travel through the backcountry of Iceland, I find myself really checking the map, the weather, because I'm always dodging the storms that are coming in off the North Atlantic. Wow, this is great. 11 o'clock at night, and there's this fantastic light show right over this ice cap. Beautiful lenticular clouds are just catching the last light of the fading sun in beautiful crimson and pinks. Spectacular.
As we journey further into the interior, the landscape feels formidable, dominated by rock and ice. Given that, it's a special delight to encounter small gifts of life.
This is a great opportunity. Across the lake is a red-throated loon with its chick. And the red-throated loon is a very difficult bird to photograph. And I'm getting some great shots because the mother is going to stay with the chick. And as it comes up the shore, I'm going to fill the frame with this bird with this very long lens. It's a really nice situation. This is one of the more engaging landscapes. It's in the interior mountains of Iceland, and it's very different than the harsh, brutal landscapes that I've seen elsewhere. This is a very soft and benign landscape, and the hills look like they've been painted with color. This is ancient lava flows that have eroded into soft form. And to further accentuate this and give it a sense of depth, the lighting is coming down and puncturing through a heavy layer of clouds. As a photographer, I'm really responding to the solid forms of ridges and the braided rivers that course their way through the mountain ridges. It's a study of line and shape, and it's beautiful. This is great. Right now we have intermittent clouds and sun washing these beautiful slopes of pastel oranges and rusts and greens, and it's all very, very much like a mosaic laying out right in front of me. Waterfalls are such a hallmark of Iceland. They're everywhere in every size and shape. I love photographing the establishing shot, but the magic is in the details. And nothing is more intriguing for me than to shoot falling water. This is an unusual opportunity to get in and under a waterfall. And it offers some beautiful perspectives I've not shot before. I love silhouetting the water against the setting sun. I've discovered a microclimate that includes bright orange lichens and mosses, as well as ferns, which I've not seen in any other part of Iceland. Using the waterfall to diffuse the bright sunshine is perfect lighting for this very soft subject. The raw forces that have shaped this landscape are the very forces that I'm here to photograph. It's difficult because the weather is harsh. Frequent storms blowing in off the North Atlantic bring moisture, winds, cold. From a ground perspective, it is a challenge to photograph in an artistic way. Get up in the air, it's a whole new ballgame. Can fly for several hours, just lost in a very surreal world that really, to me, is the essence of Iceland. Among my favorite photographs that I'll take away from Iceland are the ones where people will look at it and they won't actually know what they're looking at. In other words, it's such a striking contrast of colors or light or form that the perspective is almost impossible to discern. Iceland's austere beauty is undeniable. It is an island defined by contrasts, a landscape forged by fire and ice. The light is magical here, and the life is brilliant. Iceland echoes the Earth's volatile history, and the forces that still shape this young land give us a portrait of a true raw wilderness. I'm Art Wolf. Join me next time on Travels to the Edge.